about you, but I love changes, but sometimes it's just so unexpected that Riverside has changed some things here on UI. And I logged in for the first second, I thought that I'm joining something else. And now I see us being a little bit different. Everything is different. The world is changing. It's crazy.
I
It's all
wonder. I
AI.
wonder who QA'd this.
I don't know, but I'll give my feedback later. I'll click around and see what's going on. Also, what I'll be clicking today is AI in QA issue number 13. Well, I have already clicked on some links. And good morning, everybody. This is
Good morning.
a video review of a newsletter from AI in QA. I hope you have one in inbox. If you don't, check your spam folder. And if it's not there, then you forgot to subscribe. That's what happened. Yeah, that's all you need to do is just go to AI in QA. Um, just type it. Don't think about it. And when you see subscribe, just just do that. Just do that. You will never regret because what I get on Mondays, first of all, I wake up and the first thing I see, this meeting invite and calendar screaming at me that it's very important. And second, a INQA newsletter in my inbox where it says, "Hey, Sergei." And I'm like, oh, okay. So personalized. I loved it so much. Every time I think that it's sent to me only. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it could be. You could be the only subscriber.
Well, I know
That's
it's
not true.
not. I know it's not the only subscriber, and I'll tell you why. Because you should do this every time. Can you please add entertainment to every newsletter? Because that survey, I was like, oh, clicking, clicking, clicking. Yeah.
Well, why
So
is that entertainment? I'm looking to get some information and share it back with the community, right? With an open poll. How you just want something interactive. That's what you want.
yeah, entertainment. I
Okay.
just want entertainment. Any clicking around, I don't know anything, anything. Like find maybe do something like find all difference between two pictures. Something like that. I don't know. You.
I mean, did you have those magazines as you were a kid?
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., they're highlight magazines where you go in and they'll have a box of things you can find within a
Okay.
bigger picture, and they're kind of like baked in and hidden. Have you seen this
Oh
before?
no.
I'm sure they have something for adults now. We'll have to search for that. You'll have to look at investing in one of those for your plane ride to
Yes,
Texas.
yes. Which is happening in 2.5 weeks because I'll be in Birmingham with Butch. We're gonna have a beautiful time at Sloss Tech. Just a reminder, you still can get tickets. You can get just a dev, what is it? Deaf way. What is it? The word I'm looking for?
The
Deaf
developer
path.
path.
Here you go, Deaf path.
Yeah.
Yes, and on Friday, 9:30 to 10 a.m., we will be talking about literally what we'll be talking about this right now. It's just gonna be different and in person, and you'll get to ask questions. Also, you can ask questions now. I assume, right? People can ask questions if they have questions.
Sure, people have questions about AI and QA. Feel free to drop a comment on any of the places we're streaming, which is currently just YouTube and LinkedIn. But you can go find it out there, drop a comment. I'm trying to watch it, but no promises that we'll get to it today as we start to cover some of the content.
But I know for sure that you're gonna take a look at the poll, which you make us to take. And so if you got a newsletter, don't skip it. It doesn't look like an ad. I promise. It really says that it's just a poll, and it takes less than 10 seconds. It took me 2 seconds because also it's not a multi-choice. It's just one. So
It's what AI tool do you use the most?
yeah.
That's the question, people.
Right. Right. So my point is that's why it's not gonna take you long because you won't be like
That's right.
if I'm indecisive. I could be like, oh wait, so I don't know which. It's one answer. So just do that. Again, the newsletter today, number 13, lucky number.
For
It
some people.
covers. So you have a beautiful opening, by the way. I loved it. Do you want to expand on that? On your opening,
Which opening?
the opening Butch steak.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Uh, sure. I mean, I could talk about it. I mean, I use these tools day to day, and I'm always looking for improvement. I mean, that's the overall goal. And yeah, I mean, in the end, like I want to hear your thoughts, but my whole reason in doing this is I want others to learn and grow, and the way they learn and grow is by doing and by failing and by learning where the faults are in these tools. But I would love to hear like what stuck out to you rather than me just like read my words on why that was heartfelt to you, Sergey. Why did that make your heart warm?
It it didn't. It didn't. I was like, yeah, I know because if you see the thing is, probably everybody who's watching this is using AI. That's my guess. In some way at this point, probably for sure. You know, is Siri AI? No, because there's an artificial intelligence something. Who knows? Anyway, I bet that almost everybody's using it, and it just like your poll. I liked your poll because your poll really is about like what tool exactly, how you use it, right? And about prediction, it always. I love how it shows with Copilot when I use Copilot, and you know, uh, you would so autocomplete, right? Great thing, amazing thing when you type and it tries to complete based on it literally is trying to predict. And so while reading your take, I was like, oh, it is doing that, but also it is sometimes doing it just based on its own thoughts. I didn't want to use the word thoughts because it's not,
Sure.
but let's treat it as thoughts. And then you say like, "Oh, can you please intercept the call when I click on users?" And it says, "Sure, of course. I've intercepted and added assertions." And you look at URL, it's like API/users, and you're like, "No, it's not that."
Try
But again,
again.
try again. Yes.
But so it's not that for your system, but it's 100% that for multiple systems online. And that's where the training comes in, right?
Yeah,
And
this is
that's where
where
the
the thoughts
prediction
are.
came from.
Yeah, but also if you think about it, right, from the psychologist standpoint, AI is kind of like okay, I'm not gonna say it because people can cut it and then put it online and say, "Look at this idiot." AI is kind of like a person with traumatic experience, you know. They just look at the because like what how we make a decision every day, right? So why memory was given to us, it was literally given to us to survive, to remember certain things, so you can make a judgment call in present based on your own experience, right? That's why when you see a bear, a tiny bear. Maybe I've seen it. I'm seeing first time. I'm panicking. A person who's seen a tiny bear a few times knows that if clap and yell, then the bear most likely will go away. The person who has experience literally fighting bears in cages, I know it's anti-human, anti-animal, and all of that. They're gonna run and be like, "Oh, another one." But that's literally what AI is. It's like us, it looks at the huge, I mean, we don't have that much data, but it does. And it just, you tell it, "Oh, I need a URL." And it literally goes back, looks at it and be like, "Okay, so based on my experience, It's not its experience. It's stolen from all of us.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
based on my experience, I think it probably is. And this, I think, again, I know, but this is why when I read your take, I was like, oh, it is about predictability. It is really just that. And it just, I don't know, I started feeling so good. I was like, oh, I should not be yelling you're stupid at it. you know, just 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 because it has different I'm gonna start treating it as my client now. As like I'm a therapist, and I'll be like, tell me about your experience. Tell me, why did you say that? Do you know there are other
That's
options?
a. I'll say this, like just using the tool. Um, if you are asking the question, why did you go down this path? Why did you choose this thing? Why did you assume that or write that? You can learn a lot about the tools you're using, and it will tell you. And it could be, well, like in your Claude MD file or in your Copilot instruction file, this line exists, and that told me to do this. And then you realize I'm working against myself with my context. And as I talked about, like in that snippet, right? It's a few sentences. I'm glad it resonated with you,
Yeah.
Sergey. But it's very easy, right, to walk away frustrated, right? But if you can ask the questions, improve it, get better context, you will get better results. And I do think there are levels to this. So maybe this is the next take that we throw out there is like, what are those levels? Like the first level is I'm gonna have a conversation with ChatGPT, right? Mr. Jippity, the original, the OG that kind of popularized a lot of LLMs, even though they existed, before that went mainstream. The next level is GitHub Copilot. Is that autocomplete? Is the cursor autocomplete? It's the things that like are on by default now if you've connected your account. That third layer is really where you're prompting and going back and forth, not just in a chat window, but in a code session where tool calls are happening and all sorts of stuff's happening outside of your IDE. And there's more steps to that, but that's like the top three layers. And I think as you further move down and move a little closer to, in the outside of the IDE, but like talking with an agent or talking in a chat session that has access to more things like tools and command line interfaces and bash scripts, and it can grep your code base. These are things where can get a lot better context, and I think you can get a lot better results.
True.
There's the long version.
That was a long version of a bear fight, but to know where to know where the data, it was like sophisticated version of bear fight. But that's why if you come to Slosstag and ask your questions, and you will see we will be doing literally live. It's all improvised. You understand? We just reviewing and given our unsolicited, a little bit under control thoughts. But what also we were just talking, it kind of reminded me of, oh my God, I don't remember the name, AI and Testing Knowledge Graphs and Ontologies from Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved, so didn't have time to finish it completely just because I ran out of time because I have so much
Sure.
to read in 1 hour. But this one is very, very nice. And again, articles from Jeff in general are pretty solid. They have examples, and they have explain me like I'm five, and they walk you through the whole process. And in the beginning, you might be even confused. You'll be like, "Wait, what? Why is that?" And then it all makes sense. So, but yeah, it was an interesting take. No, it's not a take. It's just an opinion article about what we kind of talk just right now, how the data and where it's coming from, what overrides what, how it's structured. So basically, the graphs, and it is interesting. It is interesting to read, and it kind of again goes back to what we were just talking about, but it's somebody else's opinion, and
Yeah.
yeah.
This is like, I gave the example of the bear fight, right? This would be an example of going and reading a whole book on the whole, a study around people that fight bears, not just some guy on YouTube talking about it. So if you're looking for data and research, this has been an excellent resource. He has a whole series of AI and testing articles that I've been basically publishing once a week. Very good. Lots of learning here. Go learn something. It's great.
Yeah.
Anything specific you want to call out here?
No, I just love the comparison with the city management structure, so it's like, yeah, so there are graphs, there are literally like, pictures. The same thing I asked you about today. Give me the pictures, please. So yeah, that obviously helps. I'm a visual person. I love diagrams and stuff. So this is when it clicks, I can read and don't remember anything, but this helps for sure. So kudos for these. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. First article, the most valuable QA skill in the age of AI is thinking. I love seeing more and more people embracing AI on internet in terms of like, saying that, and I'm slowly going into that, camp. I'm literally like crawling. I'm not even walking. I'm
Have
just
you have you
crawling
posted about AI on socials?
a little bit. a, li- a little bit. I'm, crawling into that camp. But I know that I kind of spoiled everything by just reading out loud the title
The
of the
title?
article, because it is what it is. The data is helpful, and definitely where is that? Yeah, so he's using a lot of data, and I loved it since I'm taking statistics now, so I'm like just swimming and all of that. But that's something what I never thought about it, but kind of realized that I experienced that. So because AI is excellent at deterministic tasks, and there is the data which backs study found that the length of task an AI agent can complete at 50% reliability has been doubling roughly every 7 months for 6 years. The detail that matters the most for us is where that reliability lives. Those same models score near 100% on tasks that take a human under about 4 minutes. So if it's a short task, AI is boom, 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 pow, goodbye. I'm done. So if it's something like found me three best restaurants in Denver, I don't know why. It's gonna be great because this is something what you could do on Google or TikTok. I use TikTok, by the way, for these searches. That's an amazing place. But it's under 10% on tasks that take a human more than about 4 hours. And reading this, I had to reread it because I read it and I was like, wait, I could not believe it because it kind of made it not kind of it made sense immediately. And I reread it and I was like, yes, this is where AI is strong when you need something super sharp, super quick, super, like again, bear example. You see a bear and you need to decide whether you fight, fight, freeze, or what do you do with the bear. So for those, AI is amazing. But think about the examples when you were trying to, not you, Butch, some people were trying to give more complicated tasks such as relationship advice with your mother-in-law. That's not me as well. But and you feed text messages and you feed conversations you've had and your thoughts and your perceptions and everything, and you will see how AI will slowly lose it, and it will lose its deterministics. So, and I read it in one of those articles, maybe even in this one, where and when AI, yeah, it was a different one. So I will link them later when I found it. But when AI decides that something is an answer,
Yep.
and you keep talking to it, it will try to swing you back to that answer constantly. I experienced that yesterday. So I'm going to Spain next month. And I
All
was
right.
looking for a good place to have a final dinner on my trip. And I found one restaurant, and AI was like, okay, here's the restaurant with 10 years of executive years of Michelin star. And I was like, okay, so I'm
This is
not a
the
foodie. I
one.
have no clue how it works. I don't know what 10 consecutive years mean. I don't know. I was like, 10 years they get Michelin star? Like, I have no clue. And I was like, amazing, great. I go to the website, and it was constantly saying like, go, 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 just go there. And I was like, how about other places? Like, this is good, but also based knowing you, I love that phrase. Knowing you should go to this one. I go to the website and it says, yes, we got a Michelin star in 2011. And I'm like, okay, math is not mathing already. So, and then I just go on Google, the old ways. It's like I bring the scripture and go manually on Google, and I find that they did have a Michelin star for 10 executive years from 2011 to 2021, and then they lost it in 2022. They are no longer Michelin restaurant. But AI, by finding this result, justified by having a Michelin star, which it does not, kept pushing me and push. And the more I talked, the more indeterministic it became. It became messier and messier and then it started justifying why it was like lying and everything. So, you know, but this article again, it goes back to your own. But look at me thinking, right? So like the critical thinking, common sense, all of those, like being trying to zoom out from the answer you have. And again, I'm using non-code, non-QA examples, right, for bears and restaurants and my vacations. But it can be your system you're testing. Maybe you work for National Guard or National Parks, and you really do need to think about a person interacting with a bear. Or maybe you do work for booking.com and you're thinking about, and you working with, I bet Booking probably has AI or will have tomorrow.
Oh, sure they do. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. So, but those things are just, again, this article I was reading, I was like, oh, yes, thinking. Thank you. It's all about thinking. It's all about you still use your brain, and especially for this statistics, the most, right? If it's about 4 minutes, AI will be amazing. It will be great. If it's longer than or about 4 hours, I mean, or just in
Yeah.
general, if it's a bigger problem or longer discussion or longer,
Yeah.
finding the solution, the AI will crumble. It will. So
It would said 10% was the study. I think here's the key here. Like, if it's 4 hours of small, very easy task and you have really good context, I would argue you can still get great results. But it's really those tasks where you need a human to make good decisions versus go do this thing. Like you've either got to have it broken down in a way where it can iterate over chunks, or the tasks, even though they might take 4 hours, just have to be very specific, very rote, but also very you know, something that you can put a lot of rules around and it stays within those boundaries. So when I think about like something that used to take 4 hours, I think about writing my first test automation where I don't have any page objects on a workflow that might have 40 inputs. You know what I'm talking about. You know, just me and Sergey have like tested something where it's around 40 to 50 inputs depending on which path you go down. Overall, it's probably around like 65 or so different interactions throughout like the different test scenarios and different work trees, or paths you can follow. But with automation, right? If I wanted to do that by hand, build out the page object model, that would probably take around 4 hours. But I believe with the tooling we have now, with the ability to give a browser to your LLM to go explore in these tools, you're able to accomplish that with AI in a lot less time. You know, maybe it's not 5 minutes to get done, maybe it's 12 or 13, and maybe there's a few mistakes, but it's going to be way better than 10% accurate. It's probably going to be closer to 80 to 90% accuracy, even with something like that. If you have the right context, you give your LLMs the right tools with the right prompt.
Yes. And again, Derek, like a lot of people who talk about AI online or just in general right now, yeah, we start to accept that it's here. We start to use it. You know, I mean, a lot of people, of course, use it. What is it? There was a statistic that said something, 50% or something. But I love how everybody still goes back to thinking and you being the owner of any AI's output you put out there, you know, or you like have an integration. You still the person who has to watch this and do all of this.
Can we call it Youtput?
Y'all
Youtput. Here's some Youtput for you.
Y'all.
All right, here I've got one for you. It's the hot take.
I hope you would not go there. Can you? When you
is this going to trigger you? Are we ready? We're doing it.
I mean, let's do it.
We're doing it. So somewhere right now, a QA engineer is updating test cases in TestLink. Somewhere else, another QA engineer hasn't touched a mouse touchpad all day. I use the mouse clicker, not the touchpad. Both are doing their jobs well. One believes that if we write the right test cases, quality can be engineered. Other suspects the system is already too complex for that. If I were to test today, I'd be in the second cohort. I saw test assets outdate faster than they are produced long before the AI era. Preach it, preach it. That right there is one of the reasons why test cases is a very difficult thing is like it's documentation, and documentation goes it goes out of flavor very quickly. And that's why I kept thinking about physics. Quantum mechanics didn't prove Newton wrong. It revealed the limits of the deterministic model. I actually don't know quantum mechanics, so I can't really speak to this, but I mean, are you taking quantum mechanics class yet in your classes?
No, I will never. I don't know why we're even talking about that, but
maybe it's like next month. That's your
no, I'm not
class credits.
No,
all right. So I think we're seeing something similar in QA. Modern systems are increasingly built on uncertainty. Distributed architectures, feature flags, LLMs, agentic coding, and personalization. I think that's true. I would argue like feature flags and distributed architectures are deterministic. Some of the other things aren't. The shift is not from manual testing to AI. It's from deterministic verification to problematic risk assessment. How does that make you feel, Sergey?
I don't like it. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the phrasing. I don't like when listen. I'm not stupid, you know. I've read a lot of books and all of that, and in general, you know, like kind of like well put together person. I don't like when people just put like quantum mechanics, Newton, all of that, like even the sentence, it's from deterministic verification to probabilistic risk assessment. I get tired. Like if for me it doesn't make sense, not the sense of the sentence, but it doesn't make sense. What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to like? This is again based on some books I've read. This is one a beautiful example when big words are used to hide the nonsense.
I don't know if it's true or not. Like I don't know enough about the subject to say that.
I'm
So
t-
yeah, so it
I'm
makes me
just
just feel like it may be plausible, it may not. So I think what you said like holds likely. I mean, I do see like in her title, the math of quality. So maybe she like knows a lot about math, and maybe this is like actually makes a lot of sense to someone who knows a lot about math. But for me, I'm like calculus two in
no,
college.
not even
That's
that.
where I got on the math side.
I mean, this is this is a beautiful. Again, the sense behind this, the whole message behind this text, is just it's just flying over me. So this post is beautiful hot take of how you are not gonna reach the audience. This is like a hot take, you know, just adding smart words and mathematics and again like just again the sentence itself, it's from deterministic verification to probabilistic risk assessment. I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? It
Okay,
just
so think about this. I think what that's saying
let's do it.
is from like if I'm testing a web page, right? I can test a web page and validate this input equals this output. I can go make an assertion against it, whether it's a coded assertion or just something as I'm testing in my head, like doing some exploratory.
That's
I think what
deterministic verification.
that is it's deterministic, right?
Yes.
I'm making an assertion, I'm making a hypothesis, and I'm going to go validate that hypothesis.
Yes.
The probabilistic risk assessment, I think, comes from if you're utilizing AI to do the checking for you, you're going to have some kind of output, and it is non-deterministic, right? The things we get out of these systems, it's not a playwright check that's going to go say, did it pass or fail? It's going to go look at something or analyze something and come back and say, this is what it is, but it's not deterministic because it could say it's this one time and then run the same thing, and it could say this another time, right? So your output from LLMs are non-deterministic. I think where this line like hits where I'm like, this is where it's a hot take. QA isn't going away, but the determinism certainly is. Unless you're testing a system that has an output that's an LLM. So let's say you're actually testing an AI tool that gives you some kind of output that's non-deterministic. Yes, this agrees. Like this flies. The problem is like 95% or more of the tools we're currently testing and working with are very deterministic. You know, I go to McDonald's and I go buy something. I'm going to expect to spend $1.49 or whatever on that thing I buy every single time until the menu changes, and then the price is going to change. But I'm doing this thing and this is the output, and that is deterministic. And I think the big thing here is like you can leverage AI to help you write deterministic tests, automation tests. And I think that's where like you can leverage these tools to get deterministic results. And that's the current superpower. That's another Butch's take, maybe for next week. We'll see.
Yeah, thank you. But also from what test covers from question. What test covers this to what signals tell us something unusual is happening? Well, automation will tell you. Like I mean, she opens it with engineers updating test cases. I mean, that's yeah, we know about this, but the automation will tell you what is happening, but not touching the mouse. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, The
I mean,
whole
it's the voice dictation. You can do voice dictation now. You gotta, or maybe you just hit your keyboard in your terminal. But
I don't know. I
I'm
don't know.
100% still doing testing and
Yeah.
understanding the system that I'm testing, even when I highly leverage AI tools. So I think
Yes.
that's it's important.
Did you? I wanted to- Can you imagine? I almost asked you. Did you see a post from Philip? From, but obviously you did. You put together the whole issue and techniques and tutorials. But oh wait, no, 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 no. That was, let's see. Is it? Oh yeah, it is Philip. It's just different one. Clapham on regression alert for the Opus 4.8. Verified tool calls against ground truth.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
That's a good
It's
one.
very interesting. Here we go.
It is.
LinkedIn's taking this time this morning. Regression alert. Heads up, anyone running Opus 4.8, verify your tool calls against the ground truth right now and don't ship anything on the model's word alone. I think the idea here is if you're using some kind of AI or the LLM in your production code base to make assumptions or go do tool calls or do agent work for you, this is where you need to like validate those things. A lot of times when you're working in a chat session, like you should go validate that, but this is more things that are like products. So what stood out to you on this one?
The AI fail. You know me. Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of thinking. I'm a huge fan of verifying, manually testing. By the way,
Yeah.
love that thing. Love that, like 5 minutes just clicking around, even if everything is covered, even if I know automation has checked everything or AI checked everything, I still am gonna open the web page for 5 minutes at least and just click around for those things. Of one of the article was mentioning that today, you see, I cannot map them. I just read them. How the button can be on the screen but in a different corner or something like this. So definitely gonna check that. Yeah, the fabricate the actual input output from AI, nobody expected it. And again, Philip used a beautiful his own example, not just example. He's, what is that? I don't know, situation, incident. But yeah, so you go and read it. Maybe because me reading it and retelling you is not the same as you reading it. So when you read it, it will resonate or maybe trigger you, and maybe you will think about your own piece of code which does something similar to that, and you will need to put some guards in place, or again, manual regression every release. Who knows?
Yeah. And I think it's important to know that like the tools we're building, the model. So Opus 4.8 is the model. The harness is Claude Code. And you've got prompts and context that come from all sorts of places, right? And in this scenario, it could be that Opus 4.8 is not the problem, right? The problem could be a release Opus 4.8 plus Claude Code, plus this harness that should be doing some of the checks for us, but apparently, it was getting by without it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
found the article about the AI convincing you that their decision, their suggestion is the best. It was from Artur Bikulov. That was, I don't know it's Artur, AR. Yes, yes. My debugging agent has one weird rule and it works. And this is great. First of all, I see your comment there, so you couldn't refer. I love that. When I go on LinkedIn, the first thing I read, like, let me see if Bush left a comment. You
yeah.
didn't leave a comment on hot take though. You should have.
No, I don't always. I did like it, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I have to like think about what I comment and what I don't, because that drives what I see on my feed, the algorithms.
Yeah. But so yeah, he's talking about the bias from AI when when again, like I use the example with a restaurant or anything like, it found an issue. I mean, automation found an issue and AI is debugging it and it found the solution. It will convince you that that's the solution. And basically, also, I know Butch loves it and everybody loves it. I love it too. There is an example of a skill, right? I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
It's right there. It's right. So when you see LinkedIn, right, post, when you finished reading, there are hashtags and images and everything. And then when you scroll, I'm talking about not in this mode, but when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah. You're talking about
on a
this. Just
feed.
click on that link.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So click on it because I was like, oh, okay, cool, but where's the didn't you say you're gonna like tell me like
Show
and
me a skill. Yeah, it's right here. So
yeah, I was like, wait, but okay, why are you bragging? Just bragging and not telling me. But no, the skill is there. And again, I use the example, so I'm not gonna go over this.
yeah,
Anything you wanna add on top of that?
I would just say go take this, copy it, paste it, and go try it. Go save it in your skill directory and go try it. I think, again, like I mentioned earlier, you're not going to know how these things work from hearing me and you and others talk about it. It's really, you need to go experience it. You need to make your own opinions and, tell us what's working, what's not working. Would love to hear it. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop back to the session. So one thing you saw in your email is you got a link, but if you go on the web, you actually have this poll built in. So I'm this is the results as of 40 minutes ago. We're gonna go look at what are the current results right now. Is that cool? Let's go do that.
Yeah.
You can also see it in the top section. Ooh, my hamburger menu's broken. I need a test for that, I guess.
Oh wow.
That's something new. I mean, I've been making template updates. So, but if you click on poll up here at the top, it will take you to the poll. And we currently have 8 responses. And GitHub Copilot is currently winning. So, whatever you do, go check out the poll link on AI and QA. We'd love to hear what tool you're using. And this is, again, information that's available for everybody. I'm not like hiding it. You don't have to give me your name or your email or anything like that. It's just a useful thing to know what our subscribers are using. So I'm going to drop in a few shout outs. On Kit, thank you for your comments on LinkedIn. I think you said we've got a great LinkedIn tutorial on Playwright. Yeah, if you're learning Playwright, go check out the Playwright LinkedIn Learning Library. There's, I believe, 4 lessons. 2 of those I wrote and built, and there's like a whole master path where you can go, become an expert in Playwright by following along and learning. Also, Carlos, hi. Thanks for checking in from Argentina. We appreciate you joining us on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Hi, Carlos. Hola, Carlos. Actually, why not? Argentina. Hello. Yeah, but so there are more articles. I had tabs open, so we won't have time to review them today. But we will definitely be back next Monday with the newsletter number 14. And in the meantime, you go read those articles, read the ones which trigger you, or the ones you just read the title and you're like, I love this. Let's go. You'll definitely learn something. Just the last short one is John when. They used AI to go into Git logs and find the change. I wanted to talk about this so bad, but not today.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, next Monday. Thank you so much for everybody. You wanted to say something?
I'm going to get the title of that.
Yeah.
So sometimes the best debugging tool is a Git log. Go read it.
Yes, it is. It is. But yeah, so thank you so much for staying with us. Just a reminder, every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, we're reviewing AI in QA. Go subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, I don't know how to ask questions, suggestions. What if somebody
I
wants
need
to sponsor?
I think I said I'm gonna build something for next week.
Yeah.
Go
You did.
subscribe. Next week, come back.
Come back.
Maybe you'll
they're
see something.
If you wanna help Butch buy more coffee so he stays up all night looking for these articles to put together in a newsletter, there's a link how to sponsor the newsletter. So do that. But in the meantime, all I have to say is thank you very much. Oh no, my reactions are dead. Well, listen.
You
No,
just
it's
got to push
not.
the buttons.
It's not. No, it's just. Here we go. Yeah. I'm like, I'm one color everywhere. So it just doesn't see the change. AI, I'm telling you. But this will always be here. You see? Like, manual testing. Anyway, on this note, have a wonderful week and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.